Hook, the undisputed king of Muay Thai, also known as the Invincible Tiger. It is said that no other technique can match the power of his kick. For this episode, we will be going over the history of one of the world warriors that brought this series to life, Sagat. So, let's get into it. Pre-Street Fighter. Sagat always had a flair for combat, but his right eye became severely injured in street fights when he was a young child, eventually weakening it. He quickly decided to learn the martial art of Muay Thai in order to control himself and get stronger after realizing that learning fighting on the streets was not the best method for him to learn. His size finally worked to his benefit as he matured and recovered from a difficult early career of setbacks. At the age of 15, he was able to battle his way to the top as a deserving champion in the Muay Thai world. A year later, Sagat would take part in his first title defense, which happens once a year. Golubiki, a man wearing a mask and going by no name, was the opponent. Sagat tried to fight on par with Go, but Go saw that Sagat's right eye was weak, so he targeted it with all of his assaults. After one of his blows struck and gouged out Sagat's right eye, he became enraged and countered an impending decisive knee kick with a brand new strike that called forth a powerful force from deep within Sagat and destroyed Go, the Tiger Shot. Years later, after facing and defeating Wakan, a formidable fighter who was also regarded as an emperor of Muay Thai, Sagat earned the moniker the Emperor of Muay Thai. After seeing them fight, Adon requested to become Sagat's pupil. Street Fighter. Word of a teenage martial artist named Ryu, who had vanquished 20 Muay Thai practitioners, began to circulate one day. Sagat agrees to stand up for Muay Thai's dignity when Ryu challenges him. In their battle, Sagat began to exert more of an advantage on Ryu, who showed himself to be a very proficient fighter. But Ryu uses an almost lethal shoryuken to defeat Sagat, severely hurting him, leaving a large scar across his chest, and knocking him out in the process. When Sagat awoke, he vowed to exact revenge on Ryu. Street Fighter Alpha. Following his shocking loss, Sagat left the Thai fighting community and started training by himself. However, because he was still in shock from his first defeat, part of his training entailed him taking out his frustration on a tree. A few months later, Sagat got rid of all doubt and replaced it with rage and hatred, which is how Tiger Blow, a technique that counters shoryuken, came to be. With great anticipation, Sagat joined the criminal group Shadaloo after him, Bison gave him resources to locate Ryu and set up a rematch. Sagat was one of the dreaded four heavenly kings of Shadaloo, and his almost unbreakable strength earned him the title of Bison's bodyguard. He then started looking for Ryu right away. Street Fighter Alpha 2. When Sagat quickly came up to Ryu and declared that they should fight, Ryu objected, claiming that Sagat was still hurt from their previous encounter. Sagat persevered and triumphed. Later on, he couldn't shake the feeling that the win was meaningless in some way and recognized that Ryu had allowed him to win. Following the match, Ryu had said nothing but given him an enigmatic stare. Sagat was resolved to train even more and become victorious in the future. He spent time refining the Tiger Blow, which would become the Tiger Uppercut in his finish. Sagat also met Dan Ibiki, an adult who was seeking retribution for the death of his father in a fight with Sagat 10 years before. Sagat purposely threw the fight so that Dan could vent his resentment because he was still carrying over the fact that Ryu had denied him victories in their previous encounters. Dan is unaware that Sagat did this on purpose. Street Fighter Alpha 3. Sagat came to understand that Ryu's scar was caused by the Satsui no Heido that possessed him. He realized Bison's actual objectives and knew that true rivals should not be deceived or deluded by fury and animosity. However, Bison gave him an altered Ryu and said Sagat could have the rematch he had always desired. Though disappointed to be facing such a wicked opponent, Sagat continued to battle Ryu, focusing on destroying Bison's mental control. A real warrior, he begged Ryu would not succumb to such betrayal. Rejecting the Satsui no Heido, Ryu broke free from Bison's hold and briefly Sagat at last understood that rivalries have to have an end. Sagat informs Ryu that the corruption nearly ruined him and that he is not yet prepared to face him once more. When Ryu is ready to become a genuine master, he leaves Sagat and makes a promise to return. Sagat understands that he must vanquish Ryu to fulfill his destiny rather than exact retribution. Street Fighter II. Now that 2 years have gone by, Sagat's objective at the World Warrior Tournament was a clean rematch with Ryu. Even though Ryu received his wish throughout the competition, Ryu won the bout once more. Sagat, however, took solace in his setback and now both had respect for the youthful martial artist. He then gave up his position at Shadaloo. In Thailand, Sagat persisted in his physical and mental training with the goal of returning, before he was too old, to the title of world's greatest fighter. While Sagat is practicing alone following the events of Street Fighter II, an agent from Shadaloo approaches him. The agent makes an effort to persuade Sagat to rejoin the group. After refusing, Sagat fires a tiger shot at the man, forcing him to flee. Super Street Fighter IV. Sagat experiences sadness following the World Warrior Tournament, stating that he feels like a loser. When Adon shows up at a match in quest of something to reignite spirit, his old student makes fun of him and challenges him to a bout. Encouraged by the audience, Sagat uses his Tiger Destruction to defeat Adon. Feeling rejuvenated, he enters SIN's new tournament with the intention of facing Ryu again and learning the ultimate purpose of the fight. When he ultimately locates Ryu, he confronts him. It is presently uncertain how the fight will turn out. Not long after, the Satsui no Hado starts tormenting Sagat. Witnessing Namipun's demonic appearance and being inspired to kill them. At that moment, Kage appears challenging Sagat to battle. Sagat starts to fight against the evil energy, seeking the same path as Ryu. Kage easily pummels Sagat, however the latter is not pleased as the one who beat him is not the same man as the one he is looking for, Ryu. Kage disappears abruptly, but Sagat manages to overcome this power and his desire to kill by unknowingly tapping into the power of nothingness while acknowledging what Ryu is dealing with. Not long after, Sagat locates Ryu and the two engage in battle. It is not clear who won, but looking at the Street Fighter V Arcade Edition opening trailer, it seems that Ryu may have won this battle. OUTRO. And that is everything I could collect on Sagat from the main timeline of games. I find it interesting that even though he plays an important role in the series, he starts to become more like a background character, not having a lot of details in his story. It would be cool to see him in Street Fighter VI and give us all his past details and what he has been up to since Street Fighter V. Well, until next time, Warriors.